Hey guys, this is Wolfgang here. I want to talk about the lessons that I learned from the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, for those who do not know the book was written by Robert Kiyosaki. What happened was Robert Kiyosaki had two dads. He had two fathers. One was his biological father and another was his friend's father, Mike's father. So he became his father through Mike since they were friends. When he was growing up, he wanted to know how things are in terms of the rich and the poor. His father, his biological father, was poor, but he was a government official in Hawaii, but he was poor, so he didn't want to live a poor life. He didn't want to live a miserable life. So he decided to learn a lot from his rich dad, which is Mike's father. These are the lessons that I want to give to you guys. But if you have not read the book or even listened to the podcast of the book, or an audio book, make sure you get a copy and you read or listen to that book. It's very, very important. It is actually the first book that I read. I didn't want to read books, but when I read that book, it changed my life and it changed a lot in terms of how I think, how I handle finances. Right now my finances have improved because of Robert Kiyosaki, as Poor Dad, Rich Dad. So I want you guys to have and you listen to these lessons, a summary of these lessons, and then also getting a copy and you read on your own. To go on the first lesson, Robert Kiyosaki said that you do not have to work for money, but money should work for you. By working for money, you are going to your 9-to-5 job. So you are trading your time for money. That's what is meant by working for money. When you exchange your time for money, you are working for money. But he encourages, in fact, he commands people for money to work for you. In money working for you means that whether you are working or you're not working, you are getting extra money. This is what he called the passive income. Passive income is the income that you get even if you're not working. For example, rent house. You have properties, you have your house, and then you rent some apartments there. Then you are getting it whether you are working or not. You still have your rental properties. You have copyrights, you have music rights. That's what he was emphasizing. So this is the first important lesson that I want you guys to know, that you should aim at money working for you. That's what the rich dad was doing. He had businesses, he had real estate. Even Robert Kiyosaki himself is into real estate, renting out properties, leasing out properties, then getting money. The another lesson number 2 is build assets or buy assets. By buying assets, he defined an asset as something that it generates revenue, and a liability, he said, it is something that takes out money. So an asset brings money and a liability takes away money. The same thing that can be an asset can also be a liability. So that's what he was emphasizing. He was saying, no, an asset, it depends on how you are using it. The same item can be an asset or a liability. A good example is a car. If you take a car and you are using it on your own, it's a liability. It's a liability because there is maintenance, fuel, and other costs, insurance. So it becomes a liability because this car is taking money out of you. But if you take that car and then you rent it out for Uber or for as a taxi or as a tax or hiring it out, then that car becomes an asset, because when you are hiring out or you are using as a taxi, it is bringing in revenue. That's what he was emphasizing. So even the house can be a liability or an asset. If it is a liability, there is nothing revenue that is coming from that house. So you have to develop assets and build assets. He then also gave a very important lesson that you should learn to mind your own business. Mind your own business, because your job is not your business, it's someone's business. The job that you are having, if you're having a job, it's someone's business. You are minding someone's business when you're working 9 to 5. But he says that if you start your own business, you start minding your own business, you start to develop your own business and starting to make profit. So he is emphasizing that, you know what, you have to mind your own business. He emphasizes another issue of taxes, saying you have to reduce taxes. You have to reduce. But how do you reduce taxes? Not by tax evasion, not by evading tax, no, but you can reduce taxes, or you can avoid paying more taxes legally. Legally, you can avoid paying more taxes. This is how he said that you have to start corporations, or to register corporations, a company. In terms of a company, this is what happens when you have a company. You have your income, you have your expenses, then you have your profit. You are taxed after expenses. You are taxed on your net profit. That's what happens when the government is taxing you. They tax you on your net profit. So companies, you can put expenses that are your personal expenses as if they are company expenses. Or you can, a good example is, let's say the car you are having, even if it is your own, you can register it in the company name. So the depreciation, the fuel, all the other expenses, even the rich guys, the luxury, just when they are traveling from one place to another, those will be company expenses. So when it is the net profit, it will be less, therefore the tax will be less. That's what he was talking about when he was saying, you know what, the rich avoid taxes, the poor are taxed now. Another way is the rich are taxed, or the companies are taxed after they have spent, but the poor are taxed before. That is your payee, your income tax, pay as you earn. You are first taxed, then the remaining is you are given to it. But in businesses, you spend and then the remaining is being taxed. That's what he was just explaining about. As we go on, he says the rich invent and create money. Rich people create money. So in the rich dad, he created the money, but how? He would find opportunities, exploiting opportunities. Then when he exploited opportunities, he would deliver the services or the products to people. He would also solve problems. By solving problems, you are giving a solution, and people would be interested in that product or service you are selling. He emphasized about the power of learning. You have to learn. He said you have to develop financial intelligence. He discouraged the bookish mindset of knowing only what is in the book. Yes, you have learned, you have a degree, you have learned in college, or even you have many degrees, but he said you have to know financial intelligence. You have to know how the books works. You have to know how the accounting works, or how the businesses work. So he was saying that you have to learn even to know how law works, because even if you're a businessman, if a person comes and wants to sue you, you have to know how to defend yourself. You have to know what to do. So he said you have to keep on learning, not just financial intelligence, but to know everything. He said that you have to overcome your mental obstacles, such as fear, doubt, anxiety, laziness, all those obstacles that keep you on developing. He said you have to overcome even the inferiority complex. You have to be optimistic. Rather, you have to be optimistic. A good example, he said, even if you don't have money, you are not poor, you are broke. Broke, it's temporary, but poor, it's a permanent situation. That's what he was also emphasizing about. Then he said that you have to pay yourself first. Pay yourself first and then the rest later. Even if you are working, when you are working, you have to pay yourself first, then other expenses later. That payment of yourself first is very important, because other people pay themselves last. So this, in other words, he's saying that you have to take yourself as a priority, or you have to reward yourself, because you're the one who is working, you are the one who is doing all the businesses. So you have to pay yourself first. Then he's saying you have to keep on reinvesting. You have to reinvest excess cash. It doesn't have to be idle, but you have to reinvest it and reinvest it so that it brings more cash. That's what he was emphasizing about. Then lastly, on the lessons is number 10, surround yourself with people smarter than you. In Africa, most people, if a person is a leader or he's a businessman, he hates or he dislikes someone who is smarter than him. But actually, you have to surround yourself with people smarter than you, because they will be doing the thinking and you are taking the credit. You are the one who is taking the credit and they are doing all the thinking and the creative work. So it's important to take people who are creative, who are smart than you. And also, you have to surround yourself in this same category. You have to surround yourself with people who have a positive attitude. Even when you are saying something, they are supportive and they encourage. So those people you have to surround yourself with, they have to be smarter, they have to be positive minded, they have to be optimistic, and they have to be real, not people who flatter you even if it is a dead end. That's not it. So that is it for now, guys. I'll keep on posting other videos and keep on watching more videos, because this book is very important. I repeat, guys, this book is important. I learned it and it will not disappoint you. It did not disappoint me. I learned a lot from this book, because I know that we are building future billionaires here on YouTube, the young entrepreneurs who are going fast. So you have to know all this. You have to know this and more. This is just a summary. There are a lot of lessons that you will learn from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have learned one or two things. Subscribe, like, comment, till we see each other next time. Thank you.